The Vail Valley is brimming with locals who lead epic lives. And joining me in the studio is Jeff Evans. Now, you know him as the regional manager for Christie Sports, but I think he was born with a pair of skis on. So we're going to hear about how he got into skiing and a little bit about his career and really whatever Jeff wants to talk about.
All right, so I'll tell you how I got into skiing. I skied a little bit, but I really wanted to be a hockey player. And so I was playing, I was playing Pee Wee, Bantam hockey, and a kid flipped the puck, and I had this little mouth guard on, and his stick went up underneath the mouth guard, and I had 16 stitches in my upper lip. And I remember them putting the field over my face and sewing me up, and hearing my mother say to my father, "I don't care what it costs. You get him a new pair of skis. We're done with this hockey." So I played hockey for, a couple more years, but then I started being more competitive in skiing.
And so you went into mogul skiing.
Yeah, I raced till I was about 17, and then my coach took me to a mogul contest, and I actually won, and I was invited to go to a ski camp in Washington State. So I went up to Washington that year, and then the next year I was chosen to go to Europe.
What do you think are some of the special characteristics of somebody who switches to moguls? I mean, what ability do you have to be able to do moguls well?
You have to be able to overcome knee surgery. That's pretty much the name of the game. But it's a similar motion to to slalom skiing. So you have to be fairly agile and quick on your feet. And then like I say, I was afforded the opportunity to have a bunch of really good coaches.
And you've skied all over the world then?
Yeah, I have. I've gotten to ski all over the world.
Both hemispheres?
Yep. Yeah, and travel is a really cool thing, but when you're an athlete, you go and you ski the run. That's what so you're not getting to travel. You're not going like, oh, I'm going to go over here and ski. That gondola looks like it takes you someplace good. You would just go pound bumps for 3 or 4 days, and then you'd be done and move on to the next event.
So do you have places with memorable runs that you particularly liked, or just stay stuck in your memory for some reason?
Well, the other thing is that I've been afforded a lot of opportunity to be to helicopter ski. And when you helicopter ski, it's, I probably have, somewhere around 100 days on the helicopter, and I can almost remember every single run.
Where does most of that helicopter skiing take place?
Well, I've been to Canada and Alaska, but I lived in Utah for a long time, and there's an operation over there called the Wasatch Powderbird Guides. And they would call me at certain times and say, hey, somebody just hurt their knee, can you get up to the pad? And, I'd run up there with my skis and we'd go.
So your number of days on the mountain is pretty legendary around here. Do you have any predictions this year about how many days you think you're going to get out?
Well, barring any kind of injury, I would say, it'll probably be somewhere around 120.
And we talked at the very beginning of the season, actually before the lifts even started opening, and you had a feeling that this was going to be a really good year.
Well, I had a good feeling, but now, with the snow, it always comes. They don't have average snowfall because it's below average. They have average snowfall because you get the snow. So it'll come eventually.
It'll come eventually.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on. This is actually one of the pictures you wanted to talk about, this powder shot. Where was this one taken?
That's in Snowbird, Utah, but if you look, that's the ultimate poser. As you can see, the photographer, was pretty much directing it, was like, hey, make the snow look really deep. So I made it look really deep, and the woman I was skiing with, that was my girlfriend at the time, and she's just standing up normal. So it's, it's kind of, there's some fake photography out there.
Jeff, it's been great talking with you and having you on the show. Thanks for coming by. And I hope you get out on the hill as much as you want this year.
I will get out today.
We're going to take it back to Mark. He's over at Beaver Creek giving us the conditions on the mountain.